Okay, so what I'm doing here is I am gonna merge onto this my keychain SVG blank. This is just the file. You can see what size it is. You can see the size of the little keyring hole, which I found this is the perfect size. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my Spotify and I'm going to search this song. This song is Fools. So once I find the song and the artist, I click it. I click the three little dots. I share that and copy that song link. Then I go over to my Safari and it is spotifycodes.com, and I just paste that into there. I double check that that is the correct song at the top, download that image, then I go back over to my Silhouette Studio, and I'm going to merge that also into the, there it goes, merge that into the file. It's going to come just like that. Now I'm going to trace this. Once I trace it, there's going to be a box around it. I'm going to actually release that compound path, delete that, you don't need it. Release that compound path, delete the box, and then make compound path. I'm going to resize, nope, I'm not going to resize it yet. I'm going to actually type in the name of the song and the artist, and then once I do that, I'm going to actually make that a compound path just to make sure that it is tucked away really nicely. And I'm going to resize it now and zoom in here in just a moment, because I don't want to change the size of the keychain itself. I want to make that fit into this keychain, so resizing it to fit into there. Once I do that, I'm going to start kind of getting everything aligned. You see I'm going to align that L, that blue line, with the bottom part. The top part, because it's a little deceiving with the Spotify logo and then the code, I'm actually going to manually center that with the bottom. So I'm going to click both of them and center that just to make sure that it is absolutely centered. There's a lot of things that can play tricks on your eyes with that. It wasn't too far off, but it definitely wasn't perfectly centered. So once I get all that, I'm going to make that a compound path, and it'll turn that dark. And I'm going to save this as an SVG. You have to have the business edition to save this as an SVG, but you have to have it saved as an SVG to put it into the Glowforge. So I'm going to open up my Glowforge. I'm going to put it on the acrylic. I don't change the size of it again. I'll leave it the exact same size. I just center it or put it exactly where I want it. I'm using a medium clear acrylic, and then I engrave the center part and cut the outer edge and the circle. It takes just a minute to start working. Once it's prepared and ready for printing, I just click the print button, and it takes about 5 minutes. So once that's done, I pull it out of the machine. This is it before I do the coloring. I'm using a Sharpie oil-based pen for this. I thought I showed it in the video. I guess not. And it's really hard for me to do this on camera because the camera's not very far. But I'm literally just kind of tapping that oil-based ink paint into there. You can kind of see, just making sure that it's completely filled. The top part, you will get some air bubbles. What I've realized is they're going to be there. You just got to work with them. So I'm going to zoom in here in a minute and show you the air bubbles. And you literally just keep going over it and they will pop. You don't want them to stay because they will leave a little blank spot once you get done. You can kind of see there it had one. I think I'll pick it up and show you. Yeah, you see there's a couple. I probably moved it just to get it because it was easier. But yeah, once those air bubbles pop, there will be, like, you won't be able to tell, you'll be able to tell that there's not paint there. So you definitely want to make sure that it's completely filled in. And this is exactly how long it took me to do this. I did not fast forward this. I did not speed it up. Literally, it took me about 2.5 minutes to completely fill this in. And I replace my marker about once a week or so. They don't last super long, but I also make about 50 of these keychains a week, so they probably do last a long time. I just make a lot, so I replace them quite a bit. Just filling it in. Now, the next part after this, I do let this dry completely. I do not take this protective coat off until it is completely dry. So I have a fan. I let it sit under the fan for about 10 minutes. So this, like I said, completely dry, and I'm taking like a thumbtack. I need a weeding pen to do this. I have no idea where mine went. And so you can kind of see, you could take this off with your nail, but I use a sharp object because I just feel like it works a little better. So I go in and I take off the little inside pieces first before I take off the big part, because I don't want to scratch it. I would much rather take a chance of nicking the paper and then the acrylic. So you can see there's a little bit of like bleeding underneath there. So what I do for that is I take rubbing alcohol pads, or you could do like rubbing alcohol sprayed on a cotton ball, whatever works for you. I just have these little alcohol prep pads at the store that just make it a little bit easier. I usually wait until I have about 10, because that little prep pad will do about 10. And I literally just don't press too hard. You don't want to go down into the engraving. You just want to get the top. So I do that, and then I take a rag and I wipe off where it kind of smeared it. I don't know if you can really tell, but it smears it. So I do that just to polish it up and make it look really nice and clean. And that's super simple. So here I'm just putting the hardware on the key ring. I use my nails. It just makes it easier for me. I guess I have good nails. I would worry if you have fake nails to break them. So they have tools for this. I just find it easiest to use my own nail. So I pop that, and then I literally I don't pull it all the way through, and I put that pretty flush, and then I take this tool and I just turn. Just like that, all the way around. And that's it, guys. Super simple, beautiful keychain.